Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Married Lifers.
Welcome to Married Lifers.
So, we have a few things we want to talk about. Happy New Year's Eve. Go, babe.
Happy New Year's Eve.
You sound so enthusiastic.
I'm fixing this little seat right here.
You're ridiculous, sir.
Try to get nice and comfy.
Okay, so I look a little rough, guys. I came straight from visit. Didn't even get to eat my salad that I just bought and jumped on. Because the phones are already, people are already getting in line. The phones are getting crazy right now. So that's why we jumped on a little bit early.
Yeah, the changeover from one company to the other got the phones fucked up at nighttime. So about 7, sometimes 8 o'clock, like they get jacked up. You guys can hear me, but I can't hear nobody. So like it's all fucked up. So trying to do a little early and shit. Let me give a shout out to my homie over in Phoenix, in Arizona, Baby M, Michael Munguia, and his girl Bonita Verdugo. Say what's up. That's my boy. He's always had my back from day one. And I send my love to him and his family. And Baby Joe, what's up? That's in the love to the homie in the joint out there too.
Okay, so a few things we're going to talk about. Oh my God. So we made this list during visit. So we're going to talk about domesticated gangsters. Oh my God. We're going to talk a little bit about what we're going to do next year. So as far as this show, we're going to kind of split it. So it's still going to be Married Lifers, but like every other episode, we're going to do My Husband's Life. So what was the title of that one, baby?
That was Prison Revelations, Raw 100 with Greyhound. And that's just gonna be me on some gangster shit. You know what I mean? I got a lot of people that hit me up, and they know who I am. There's other shows that people have discussed me on, and people want to hear from me and stuff like that. Aside from the Married Lifers, so I thought I'd give them a section of it that's a little bit separate from my wife. You know what I mean? And we'll discuss it more in this episode right here, so you guys get an understanding of this shit. But that way, there's like, you know what I mean? I can give my peoples what they're looking for and still be true to my wife.
So that's going to be going forward. And then we're going to talk about the business that I started. It's the GN Ink Customs, doing the sublimation. So as you can see, I'm making cups, and we'll talk about that too. So also we're going to talk a little bit about our New Year's resolutions, our us together, our personal and our resolutions for Married Lifers. And then we're also going to talk about politics, the politics for them. And because there was some controversy too that I seen recently about the politics for the wives that try to politic with their husbands, and then fighting, being honest, real talk. So do you want to touch on that, babe?
Which one?
The fighting, being honest, and real talk.
What was the question that somebody had for you about that?
It wasn't a question. So there's a couple of times. I mean, obviously, we have issues going on right now, right? It's been the phone issue. Like my husband explained to you, during certain times, these phones start messing up where I can hear him the way I'm hearing him now perfectly, but he can't hear anything we're saying. That was an issue and why we missed a couple of shows. But the other issue was because we were fighting. And I was in a mood. I didn't feel like going live. I've never been one to really like put my business out there, especially when it comes to me and my husband fighting. So, you know, that's what the topic was about, fighting and being honest and real talk.
But she wants to do this show, Twisted with her husband. So it's got to be real talk. So if you're really going through that, other couples go through that too. I'll hear about that too.
Okay. So I'll be working on that because to be honest with you guys, like I was watching our previous shows, and the one that's labeled fighting. Like every time I go back to watch that, I literally cringe. Like I hate it. I hate everybody fights. We all know that. Everybody goes through things. Like nobody's relationship is perfect. And if you sit here and say that your relationship is perfect and you don't fight, you're a liar. Because you fight. You know what I mean? Or you have disagreements or arguments. However you want to sugarcoat it, it is what it is.
I don't fight. I defend myself.
Whatever, smartass. Hey, Bonita. She said, hey, babe. She's on with us.
Right, what's up?
You're so ridiculous. So he likes, like, I understand his point of view with that. But sometimes when I'm in that mood, like I know better, I know myself, and I don't want to come on here and be in that space. But I mean, that's a part of our life. That's a part of what actually happens. So that's what we're going to talk about.
Me, I can compartmentalize. I'm in prison, so I got to deal with bullshit every day. So I can't take my mood that I am with my wife for what's going on at home and let it affect me in here. So the same thing with whatever's going on with my wife affect anything that we're doing right here on the show. You know what I mean? So like I can compartmentalize. That's nothing. I just put it to the back, put it to the side. Women are different. You know what I mean? It's like they get all frazzled and razzle dazzled and shit. But
hi, Stella. I was just telling Stella hi. But yeah, like we've talked about that before, babe. Like you can do that. I can't. And I don't know if it's just my personality or just a woman. Like I'm emotional. So I can't just be like, okay, well, it's time for our life to go on. So I need to pretend like everything's okay. I can't do that. So just so everybody, and I probably said this before, just so everybody's clear, even if I'm upset and I don't say anything, I'm the type of person where you'll read it on my face. Like I can't hide it. It's just what it is. Yeah, I don't have a poker face. So if I'm irritated with you or I'm mad, like I get with my husband, he knows. Like I'll sit there and he'll be like, is everything okay? What's wrong? And I'm like, nothing. But like he knows from my facial expressions, something's wrong. You know what I mean? So let's start with the domesticated gangster, babe, and explain to everybody why this is a topic right now.
No, just because we were talking about my homie Baby M. So, you know, he's a gangster. You know what I mean? This dude is. When we were kids, he was like a 3-foot gangster. You know what I mean? He's like, you know, he's been gangster. This is all I've ever known him. So, when he reached out and you're like, hey, your homie had got in touch. What's up? I'm gonna send you some pictures that he sent me of him and his lady. You know, I had never seen him in that way. You know what I mean? All hooked up with his lady. He looked all cute. He had a lady, it's a good thing. You know what I mean? I just never seen that side of my homie. You know what I mean? It's like he got domesticated, which is cool because I'm domesticated too. So I got no place to talk. But it was just a change to see my homie that I had never seen. He had this big ass grin on his face with his lady in front of him. So it made me think about a topic about, you know, how we got these women in our lives, even though we're the guys that we are, you know what I mean? And we have these women in our lives that are, I don't know for him how it is for him, but I was saying, you know, I'm talking about, you know, they brought about a change, or they like, they have a way with us and stuff, you know what I mean? So like I always clown around, I tell these guys in here that I bully all these fools in here. I'm the big dog in here, but then my wife be bullying me and shit. She's the big dog, be trying to check me. She don't always check me, but
I always
she
check.
tried. So, but yeah, that's what I was talking about, the domestic gangster.
So I always check him. He wants to say I don't, but I do. But it made me laugh today because he was like, I've never seen my homie in that, in that role, because they were super young, when they used to run around. We all did stupid shit when we were younger, right? We were different people at that point. But he's like, I've never seen my homeboy like that. And I'm like, dude, like, if you never seen him like that, he never seen you like that. So I wonder from his end, like, it's crazy for my husband to see him like that in a good way. It's a good way, crazy, but it's different for him. So I'm like, don't you think he feels the same way with you? Like, now all of a sudden you're domesticated with the wife, you know what I mean? You have 2 kids and shit. Like, it's probably the way you're tripping out on him is probably the way he's tripping out on you.
Yeah.
So that's what
it's just, you know what I mean? I had never seen my boy in that capacity. You know what I mean? It's a good thing, and it's a positive thing. It's just I had never seen him like that, and it just made me think of being domesticated. We got these women that, you know what I mean, holding us down and shit, and it's just different. You know what I mean? They got to deal with us, and we're dealing with the woman on that side.
So hopefully one day he can get on here with us. His lady's on with us right now, and say how he feels about that too. Like, if that's something he thought or not, you know what I mean? Like what he thought when he came back up and found out you had a wife and you have all this stuff going on. Like what his thoughts were on that.
Well, it's like I was explaining to you earlier, visit was, there's, being out of state in these different states and these different prison systems and seeing all these different gangsters and so-called gangsters and all these other fools, like it's a trip to see them and see their roles and stuff. But where we come from, like, we were really doing it when we were kids. We were really doing. We're involved in some heavy shit, and then as we got older, same thing, same shit that got us in the joints and shit. You know what I mean? And like I was telling you, well, my homie, when we were kids, I had got in this car accident where I got fucked up and I had to get surgery, and I had fractured my back and my hips got tore out of socket, so I was in a wheelchair after a few months in the hospital and shit. And the homie had came over to come and get me, and he was pushing me.
You have 1 minute left.
And we passed by our rivals, and he could have took off running and leave me there, but we got jumped, and we got jumped together. We both got our ass kicked together, and he stood there with me the whole time, taking their lickings and stuff, and they stopped. They're the ones that stopped. And after it was done, he got to pick me up. We got in the wheelchair, and then we took off. You know what I mean? But years later, as adults, we were involved in some heavy shit, some gang wars, and him and his cousin, Baby Joe, they stood right there by me in the thick of it. You know what I mean? And my boy's always been solid with me in the gutter shit. So now to see my boy in a love relationship capacity, you know what I mean? That's something that's the side I've never seen in my homie.
So she said he'll be back in 15 minutes.
I'll probably be back in about 15, 20 minutes too. As soon as the phone opens up, because it's at 1 minute right now.
Okay. I love you.
I love you too.
Thank you for using Securus.
That was perfect timing. So my husband will get back on. He's just his friends helping him stand in line right now so that they can get a phone. Because right now, I'm guessing because it's New Year's Eve, like with the holidays, everybody and their grandma wants to use the phone. So we'll stay on and wait for my husband to come back. But I guess I want to leave the split show for him to explain it. So it's still going to be Married Lifers, but like I said before, every other episode, my husband's going to do his thing where he talks about his life and stuff that he's been through. He, on other channels that he's been on before, he talks about that. You know what I mean? And a lot of people are wanting to talk to him and stuff. And what he was, previously involved, or I don't want to even say previously, who he is, right? Especially from where he comes from. He has a big name out there. You know, and he's well known everywhere. So I'm gonna let it open it up and like make every other episode, you know, open for him to do his thing and talk about who he is and, you know, tell stories from that. So he says the real gangster shit. Like that's not, I try to stay separate out of that, but that's what we're gonna do. So I'll let him elaborate more on that when he gets back on. So for me, we'll talk about the GN Inc. customs. So like I said before, like I'm doing sublimating. So if you don't know what that is, it's just ink. I don't know how to explain it. I mean, I guess you could look up the sublimation. But for example, this, like I made this cup. So it's, you know, the picture for our YouTube, it says Married Lifers, our pictures. And then I did a different background and I took us some of our other pictures that we have on there. So I'm doing cups. I don't have do I have my blanket? I do. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I should have had this ready. But like I said, I came straight from visit. So when I go visit my husband, it's a 2.5 hour, you know, if the traffic's decent. If there's bad traffic, it takes me 3 hours to get there and 3 hours to get there, 3 hours to get back home. So I jumped on right away because I just got home from visit. But I'm doing the blankets too. The personalized blankets and then keychains. So it's different picture on each side. Different kinds of keychains. Like basically anything you could think of. So like for Christmas, I did a pillow for my mom. I'm going to do a pillow for me with my husband's pictures on it. On all of my social media, I posted everything that I've done so far. So like, again, the cups, the blankets, the keychains. I actually have a list of shit. I'm going to do rosaries this week and I'll post them as soon as I get them done. So rosaries, the puzzles, keychains, blankets, air fresheners, pillows, chains, necklaces I have that I'm doing this week as well. I did the ornaments. So for my grandma, my uncle had passed a few years back. I did, you know, the Christmas ornament with the wings, with my uncle's picture in it. I posted that and I posted my grandparents' pictures on that as well. And then I'm also doing phone cases and pop sockets. So I did not do this one, but this is what it's going to look, you know, this is similar to what I would be doing. So this is the pop socket that I have with my husband that I got from a company, but I can do the same thing, right? And then phone cases that are personalized. So I don't want nobody to think that it's just, you know, it happens to be all the prison stuff because those are the pictures of me and my husband. But like for my mom, I made her a pillow with our pictures. So it's me, my mom, my sister, my brother, right? And then for my nieces and nephews, I did personalized cups for things that they like. So like, for example, my nephew loves wrestling. His favorite wrestler is, I think, LA Knight. So I did a personalized cup with his name and then all the little pictures of LA Knight and his sayings. So I can do anything. And I appreciate everybody so far, for everybody that's liking and following our business page. So I'm going to try to do, you know, every time I do something, I'll post it, right? And if anybody needs anything, just reach out and let me know. You could private message me. The big thing that I'm going to be doing though, and I don't have it with me right now, but my husband's drawings, right? So let me go grab that real quick. Just bear with me for a second, guys. Okay, so the big thing I'm doing, and I can do it, I'm figuring out how to do his drawings on canvases. And once I can do that, I'll start posting them. But I'm putting my husband's drawings on cups. So my husband is an amazing drawer. Like, he draws. So this is our brown pride cup that he did. Right. So this is one of the drawings that he did. He also did this one. This one's a Aztec princess for our daughter, but I was able to put it on a cup. So he's right now working on a bunch of art for me to do, to add on the cups. So as you can see, and then the other thing I wanted to say too, like on these, especially if you want to get something that has his art, like there's still space on the back of it where I could personalize it with names and stuff. So keep that in mind. Okay. I don't want to sound like a selling shop. I feel like I sound like a sales lady. Love, joy, and peace to you, Gerard, and the family from me and mine. Right back at you, Daniel. My husband the call ended, and right now there's long lines for the phone because it's a holiday. So whenever there's a holiday like that, it's always some issues. His friend's standing in line with him so that they can get back on. So he should be back on shortly. So again, if you guys have any questions or you want to order anything, just let me know. I am going to be doing bundles for Valentine's Day, and I'll put that out on the page as well. And then I'll let my husband kind of talk about that too. But I am going to try to do the canvases with his drawings and put those up for people to purchase. So everybody that's on, I appreciate you guys being on with us. Do you guys have any New Year's resolution that you guys are looking forward to trying to accomplish? So for me and my husband, I know for me, every year I'll make a resolution, right? At the beginning of the year, like mid-year or towards the end, you're like, what was that resolution? I don't remember what it was that I made. You know what I mean? So this year, what we're going to do is my husband's, we wrote ours down, right? So I told him in our calendar, I'm going to stick it in the December. And so when December rolls around, then I'll be able to pull it back out and be like, you know, did we reach anything? You know what I mean? So for us, the resolution for us that we have for married lifers is to be more consistent and to come on live more, right? So just a little recap for those of you that happen to be new with us. I work 2 jobs. So I literally go from one job to the next job. And then on my day off from both jobs is my day to visit my husband. I see him every week. So like now I was rushing from visit. And like I explained to you guys, he's 2.5 hours away from me. You know, if traffic's bad, it's 3 hours. So I rushed from visit. I got home and then jumped on. I've been it was open enrollment for my main job, which they were requiring up to 10 hours, while over 10 hours of overtime, plus my second job. So I was working at close to 80 hours a week in 1 week. So that's why it's been so hard too. Not only that, the phones suck. Like we switched over to Securus, and Securus I mean, there's no other way to put it than they suck. Like the phones fucking suck. You know what I mean? This was supposed to be a better thing for everybody. And it's definitely not. So when they first switched over, I was able to talk to my husband until 10:30 at night at the facility he's at right now. But nobody can give us an explanation why. But about 7 o'clock, well, it's usually 8 o'clock, but some days around 7 o'clock, the phones just start messing up. So like my husband said, I can hear him clear. I can hear him the way we're hearing him on here, but he can't hear me. He'll hear like every third word, and then he hears, psh, psh, you know what I mean? So he tries to make out what I'm saying. Can you stop? So that's been our issues. Right now, for both of my jobs, we're out of the busy season. So things will start calming down to where I can be consistent like we were doing before. Like I'm coming on every Saturday or Sunday. And we're able to have the shows. So if you guys have any questions regarding that, let me know. Like my husband said, we're going to be splitting up the show. I don't really want to say splitting up, but there's going to be episodes that are strictly dedicated to my husband, to him talking about what he's a part of, where he's from, why he got, why he's where he's at, stories that he has from prison. You know what I mean? Because we don't really talk about that on this, on the Married Lifers, because it's for both of us. You know what I mean? So take that as you will. I know a lot of people, like, if you've been on here with me before, like, you've seen people get on here and want to ask him questions about who he is and where he's from and stuff like that. And he just doesn't really, he kind of shies away from that, because that's not what this channel was originally about. So that we're going to kind of split up. And I was just thinking about it. Like, I don't want to do every other show like that. Maybe it'll be dedicated days for his, what he wants to talk about. So like on Saturdays or Sundays, whatever we decide to do, it'll be the Married Lifer stuff. And then on Wednesdays, say for example, it'll be his show, his Raw 100 with Greyhound type stuff, where he talks about all that stuff. So I feel like I'm rambling and going fast. I'm waiting for him to call back. If you guys have any questions for either one of us, go ahead and put them up here and we'll address them when he comes back. Again, I appreciate everybody for being on with us. Yeah, I don't really want to get into the other stuff until he gets back. So, I guess I could kind of talk about the fighting. Like I said before, I'm a somewhat private person. Like, even me doing this, or say for example, like, I started the Lyman group, right? It's a Facebook group for the facility my husband was previously at. I've never been, I don't know how to say this without sounding weird. I'm not like the friendliest person, right? So I don't like to just go up to people and start talking to them and conversating. I'll wait till somebody talks to me. That's just how I've always been. Like, I get awkward and feel uncomfortable and stuff like that. So my husband was kind of trying to break me out of being that way with the Lyman group. So I started Lyman, and he was like, every time I went to visit, which is every week, he would tell me, talk to one of the other wives. Like, when you guys are walking out, like, we talk to each other, like if something's happening, or, something happened with the visit, like, the girls will talk when they leave. So I started kind of opening up, and he'd be like, make it a goal to talk to at least one person when you come to visit. So that's how I grew my group, right? Every time I was at visit, I would talk to one of the girls and be like, hey, I got this page. We keep each other updated on what's going on, whether the facility is on lockdown, whether the phones are messing up, if there's a holiday and they're canceling things, or, keeping each other going. Like, if there's an issue, coming up with the emails, finding the emails, who we talk to. We also did, long email addressing issues that were going on. So I started kind of opening up and meeting people and talking to people. That's not normally my personality. So I'm saying all this because my husband likes trying to get me to open up and talk to people and be more friendly, which is harder for me. So when we get on here and we're having conflict with each other, it's hard for me to, one, get out of that mood, right? Because I get into a mood where it's like, I shut down. Like, I don't want to fucking talk to anybody. I'm feeling some type of way, and I'm just going to make the problem worse. So I just don't want to deal with it. And my husband's like, I understand his point of view when it comes to that, because we are opening ourselves up by having this channel. We are letting people see what our relationship really looks like. You know what I mean? And he's about being honest and being 100. He's like, but you got to take into accountability, or take into mind, not accountability, but take into mind that my husband knows how to put things away. You know what I mean? If we're fighting, he's upset, he can put it over here and talk about the stuff that we're going to talk about. I can't. So if I'm pissed off at him, or we're going through something, like, you guys will definitely see it all over my face. And I don't want to be in that space with him. But he's like, we're doing this for a reason. Like you have to let everybody not only see the good, but also see that there are bad parts. You know what I mean? That we do fight, that we do have problems, that there are insecurities in our relationship. There are trials and tribulations, if you will. You know what I mean? Like everybody goes through that. I've just never been that type of person to be open and like, like let everybody see that we're having problems. Because when I feel like when people see that, they bounce on that and they're like, oh, well, they're going through things. Let me get at her or let me get at him and see if I can weasel my way in there, if you will. So, my husband kind of got upset today a little bit because I run one of his Facebook pages, right? So it's weird to me because there's bitches that'll get on there, clearly fucking says he's married, and they'll jump into his DMs and they'll be like, I got this one girl that was like, you're sexy man. I want to get on you. Or it was some weird shit, right? So he got mad because I replied and I was like, I usually don't. I'll just block him. But like for some reason this irks me because it clearly says he's married on the page. So I was like, you do see that I'm married, right? Because I'm thinking like maybe the dumb bitch didn't see it. And she was like, yeah. She was like, I see that you're married to Naomi. And I'm like, well, why are you reaching out? And she's like, well, because I want to get to know you and be friends with you and shit. And I told her straight up, I was like, you're actually talking to his fucking wife. Call me crazy because I did that. But like, why? Like, why are you reaching out to a man that says he's married? Right? Like, people are fucking weird. And then if somebody's like seeing that we're having problems, like that makes it even more of people reaching out. You know what I mean? And I get it. Like I gotta trust my husband.
Judy Cardenas.
And I gotta give him that. But it's like, to me, it's like, why open that? Why open that door? You know what I mean? So I don't know. Maybe I sound crazy. Maybe that's just my insecurities coming out. But I don't like to show that we fight because there's already weird bitches that reach out and say shit. So when somebody sees that we're fighting or that we're having conflict, some bitches are weird and they'll start reaching out or start trying to write him and be like, hey, well, what's up with me and you? I don't even want to be put in those situations. So, that comes into play why I don't like that. That's one reason. The other reason why is I don't like everybody knowing my business, whether it's good or bad. You know what I mean? Especially bad. Like I've always been like that. But I guess, I understand his point of view with it too. Like we're opening up ourselves. We're showing that we're trying to let everybody see that this is a real relationship and that we do have issues. You know what I mean? We have problems just like we have good days. We have bad days. We have insecurities. We have all the same fucking issues everybody else has. And that's what we're showing. So that comes with the good and the bad. So I am working on that, guys. I just know myself, and I sometimes I can take it too far. And when I'm feeling a certain type of way, it's not good for me to even be fighting with him, much less to be fighting with him in front of people. Okay, so that's a little explanation on that. And I understood my husband's point of view on that.
An incarcerated individual at Arkansas. Conversation now.
Hey, man.
Hey, my love.
My sonny had lost his spot. He got scared. Somebody took his spot.
What?
Yeah, well, because he was waiting in line, but he kept letting people get in front of him because I was still on the phone. So he was trying to go back. And then when I got off, somebody else got on the phone. He was like, "Oh, that was supposed to be." I was like, "Well, you didn't stand on nothing. Like, let your nuts hang."
Don't be mean, babe. He's trying to help you.
Well, I'm just saying, because nobody does that to me.
Whatever.
Just saying.
Anyways, I went over the whole fighting thing and explains like my point of view and why I don't like to fight on here, but I understood your point of view, so I already explained all of that.
All right.
I also went through the Jan Inc. customs and like showed like your drawings and stuff like that, and like the blankets that I made and the cups and the key rings and all the stuff that I'm able to make.
Yeah.
Daniel Saez said, "Love, joy, and peace to you, Gerard, and the family from me and mine."
I tell him I send it back to him and his family too.
Okay. Well,
And Dupes up.
he can hear you. I think if he's still on.
Oh yeah.
But
and I gotta send love to my homie Rogelio and my little niece Ava Bella. I love you guys. I'm over here throwing a fist up in the air like if people could see me.
you're ridiculous. So you want to talk more about the split show stuff and kind of explain that a little bit more? So what I was thinking, babe, when I was talking about it, like maybe, you know, like if we end up setting Married Lifer stuff on Sundays and we do it every Sunday, once I try to get my schedule switched, then maybe every Wednesday night we can do your Ron 100 instead of like every other episode. You know what I mean? So we could talk more about that, and I'll put more information out about that, guys, when we set it in stone. So right now what I'm trying to do is I work my second job at night on Sundays. I'm trying to get my schedule changed so that I'm free on Sundays so that we can do Married Lifers on Sundays because it's better on a Sunday, I think. And then, you know, I'll talk to my husband more and I'll put the information out there if we do his Ron 100 Prison Revelations on Wednesdays so that everybody knows what's being talked about on certain days and it's not, you know, flip-flopping.
Yeah, and it's still Married Lifers. It's just a split of, you know, people. All my followers on my skin, I want to know what's going on in my world, and they want to chop it up about the past and what's going on now, and so on and so forth. Which, I mean, my wife's my wife. She's part of my life. She's part of me. But this world right here, this is my world, and everything that I've been a part of and that I am a part of is my world, and I kind of keep that separate from my wife. You know what I mean? She has my back. She supports me no matter what, and she knows who her man is. But I still deal with my stuff aside from that. You know what I mean? And we'll discuss some things about that too, because there's a lot of women that have you know, husbands in the mix that are affiliated in the joints, the streets, and then you got them women who got a man who's a dropout who used to be such and such or whatever, and you know, so people know somebody or you're related to somebody or whatever, and so we'll discuss some of those things within reason that we can talk about. My wife can give you a perspective from the wife's point of view, the family point of view, the person that has a tie to that person point of view, and then you guys can get at me and those that I put on to talk about whatever, you know what I mean, but within reason. And I'm only going to discuss Greyhound and certain shit. Other things I won't discuss. So if you're looking for something that doesn't go my way, it's not happening. So I'm just letting you know.
Okay. So what I already set our resolution too for Married Lifers, like being more consistent, setting a day and sticking to it, and then adding the other one into it. So that's our resolution. And I was telling them, babe, like I told you, I wanted to write it down, write our resolutions down, which I did the other day when we were talking, and sticking it to the calendar so that when December comes around again, we could pull, and we can talk about that on here. We can pull it out and be like, did we stick to that stuff? You know what I mean? Because I'll be honest, I never stick to my resolutions. But by the time we get to the end of it, I'm like, I don't remember what I even said to begin with. So I don't know if anybody else is like that, but I do that.
I usually don't have them. I just, you know what I mean. I just take day by day, but I'm down for it. Cause I need to work on procrastinating because I know I procrastinate.
Yeah,
Homework and all kinds of other shit. So, but I don't, not too much, but I procrastinate sometimes.
really,
You know?
not too much, babe.
Just a little bit.
So let him tell
But
it.
I got a good excuse.
Let him tell it, but he does. So every week he has
I'm
class.
busy with my wife.
No, stop blaming me. So every Monday he has class and Wednesday he has class. And I'm like, babe, what, when he gets out of his class, I'm like, how was class? Like, what was discussed? Do you have homework? Mind you. So say, for example, Monday, he'll call me and tell me what happened in class and he has homework and stuff. So the next day I'm like, baby, did you start your homework? And he's like, no, not yet. So then Monday rolls around. I'll ask him a few times throughout the week. Monday rolls around again. He's like, babe, I can't call you this afternoon because, well, he won't say he can't call me. He beats around the bush. And he'll be like, I got to do my homework. I got to get my homework done today. Why? Why did you wait till Monday, till 5 minutes before it's due, and you want to be crying about getting homework done? And this, bullshit you not, this is not just once in a while. This is every week for Monday class and Wednesday class. And he claims he don't procrastinate. Make that make sense.
So I got a lot of things going on.
Okay, what's your main reason why you don't get it done?
Because my wife keeps me on the phone all day.
Yeah. So he blames me. He tries to make it seem like, I'm like, dude, you make me sound crazy. Like, that, don't blame me because you're not blaming kicking it with the homies or playing dominoes or watching your stories. That's not a problem. It's just I have to be on the phone with my wife. Make it make sense, sir. Exactly.
Make it make sense.
You're ridiculous, dude. So that's a good one, baby. That's my honey's personal one, is to stop procrastinating. So we'll see, guys, because I will keep a journal.
Yeah. And I plan to get more artwork done. And somebody done.
So I did show the cups, babe, and explain that and talked about the canvases as well. So did you want to say anything else about the GN ink?
Let me see. Let me get a shout out to homies out there in Arizona, to my homie PJ, Tino, to Baby Joe, to Meek out there, to Rocco. I send my love to everybody. Send my love to my dear Petunia. And then my homies over here that are out here, little Mar, little Hyper. I send my love to them. Belon over in Lyman, little Rios up in Sterling, little Shorty Loco in CSP. So tell everybody what's up. Keep your head up.
Anyone else? You just named half the world.
And to my Jolly Dave, you know I love you.
Oh my God. I haven't even called her yet. I'll have to text her and find out what our child is doing tonight because I don't want her out and about. So again, guys, if you have plans to be out and about, please do not drink and drive. Either stay where you're at, call a cab, do something. Like, please do not get behind that wheel. Petunia just got on and said, hi, Happy New Year's. Love you. Love ya.
Happy New Year's, everybody, too. I forgot it's the New Year.
Yeah.
Somebody drink something for me. Do something to get you all. Whoa.
So Daniel said, I shared this live on both my Facebook and I will message Tino and PJ myself, brother man. Thank you. So, yeah, babe, don't be telling nobody to drink for you. You're a bad influence, dude.
Huh?
You're a bad influence. So can I drink for you tonight?
What?
Can I drink for you tonight?
Yeah, you can drink for me.
Lies. Dude, if I went, no. First of all, you would get mad if I went anywhere. Second of all, I'm too fucking tired. I fall asleep on everybody by 9 o'clock. I keep grandma hours. I work too damn much.
And just so you know, you're starting to cut out on me.
It's not even 7 yet.
I know. It's doing it toward the end of your. Every time you say something, it's like right at the end.
Is it doing the psh?
Yeah, that's the noise that I'm hearing at the end.
Okay. So maybe we'll just wrap it up at this because it's already been 45 minutes anyways. And I don't want to keep everybody because it's a holiday. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe we can get on again tomorrow before I go to my second job. Oh no, we'll let you guys know. I'll put something out there if we decide to do that. Because I got a lot of stuff to make tomorrow too. So we'll see. Did you want to talk about anything else, baby? We kind of touched on everything that we wrote down. See, and I show this all the time. We write our little list at visits that we're going to talk about.
Say what?
I said, is there anything else you wanted to talk about? We did hit on everything. I hit a lot on stuff when you were waiting for the phone.
Are you filling in all the blanks right there? Just good touch up for right now, and then we'll hook something up throughout the week or tomorrow or something.
Okay. I'm guessing Baby M didn't come back. So I got a question for you guys. Why? And my husband knows this because he has a homeboy named G Baby. It drives me insane. Like, you guys are grown ass men. Why baby? Like, can you be grown ass man M or something? You know what I mean? Like, I used to hate it because my husband would be talking.
But my homie's like, he's like 3 feet tall.
It don't matter. He's still a grown ass man.
Well, you know.
So when he was locked up with his other friend, G Baby, he'd be like, baby. And I'm like, who the fuck are you calling baby? And then, so we got into that whole conversation. I'm like, no, sir. Like, you need a grown man's name. Like, no babies involved in that name at all. That's funny to me.
And let everybody know that if you have any questions for me personally about anything, send them in and get at us on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, and then I'll look them over and shit, and I'll answer them on the next time when I do my shit. So if you got anything that you want to ask me personally or whatever, and my wife will give them to me, and I'll just talk about for my side of the thing, and then if whatever you got for married life or for me and my wife together, shoot them our way too. Yeah,
it doesn't matter. Whatever questions you guys have, whatever it is, like, we'll address them, whether it be on the married lifer stuff or on his stuff, like, they'll get addressed, right? Just depending on the question. So
I'm trying to address some new shit going on in different pintas in other states too. You know what I mean? So that way everybody's current on stuff on what's going on with their loved ones in different spots and shit like that. But I like to touch on whatever's in Colorado, where I'm at right now, at home in Arizona, California, New Mexico, or any other spots for people that we got at. So we'll touch up on some of those things too. Keep everybody going on some of the latest gossip and news and shit like that.
He said gossip. So I think that was the other resolution for our New Year's resolution for Married Lifers page, was to like incorporate like events outside of prison. So things that are going on in the community, like, for example, in Arizona, I think it was like a day or two before Christmas or a day before Christmas, like 5 kids got killed in a house fire. You know what I mean? Like, stuff like that, like other stuff outside of just prison stuff. You know what I mean? To keep everybody involved in what's going on, because there are some stories I haven't heard of. I mean, stuff that we should all be aware of, right? So we're going to make sure that we're getting that in, as well as, just our everyday life, dealing with what we go through with him being where he's at, me being at home.
Yeah, straight up.
So I think we're going to go ahead and end it for tonight, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure. I'll put out a notification and put it on all of our social medias. I gotta talk to my husband about it. But if not, we'll be back next weekend for sure. So happy New Year to everybody.
Yeah, happy New Year's. Everybody keep your head up, keep it gangster. To all my homies and all my loved ones, stay down, brown, and feed me always. I love you.
Okay. Good night, everybody. Please be safe tonight. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. We'll see you next year. Married Lifers.
Married Lifers. Wiki, wiki, wiki.
Yeah.